Quick introduction for those that missed it at the very beginning. My name is Tushar Patel. I'm on the marketing team here at Cleo. Really excited about walking through some of the capabilities that we have here today with NetSuite. NetSuite is one of our more popular ERPs that we run into, especially in our manufacturing, wholesale distribution, kind of retail segments. So if you are a NetSuite customer, I think you're going to find some of the integrations pretty interesting. So, a couple of housekeeping items. Everybody is on mute. We are in broadcast mode. So now is your time to yell at the screen, throw anything at the screen because no one can see you, no one can hear you, right? It may be the only Zoom call of the day where you can yell and scream and no one can hear or see you. But hopefully you can hear us. With that being said, we're not completely isolated from you. We are live, but there is a Q&A button there in that bottom right of your screen. It may look a little bit different depending on what version of Zoom you're on and if you're on Apple or a Windows or even on your phone. But type in any questions that you have. Most often we have too many questions and we're not able to get through every single one of them. But if you ask the question, it is being recorded, so one of the Clio team members can get back to you and make sure we answer the question. Obviously, you're probably in touch with somebody from Clio. If not, you will be soon, and we'll make sure that you get those questions answered. And last but not least, we always get this question, so I'm going to kind of nail it up front. We are recording, and we will provide the recording to you so you can share with your colleagues. That doesn't mean you jump off now and say, "I'll watch the recording later," because we all know what happens to that. Most people don't go back unless you're doing it live. So I highly encourage you to stay on and stay interactive here with us today. But you can use that webinar recording link to share with your colleagues. That's where it becomes important. So if you have a boss or somebody on your team or another peer in your organization, or somebody outside of your organization that you want to share this with, you can feel free and go ahead. There's nothing in here today that is proprietary or confidential in nature. So share away. And with that, I'd love to bring up to the virtual stage my good man, Aaron. So Aaron is a solutions architect here with Clio. And what I love about Aaron is I think every single time I have a conversation with him, I come out just feeling better because he is a very positive individual. He is high energy, and he is not only that, but he's a wealth of knowledge. So Aaron, I will pass it to you to introduce yourself and tell everybody a little bit about yourself, and then we'll jump right in.
Thank you so much, Tushar. I really appreciate the kind words. I am a solution architect. I've been with Clio for about 8 months, but I have been in the digital transformation, commerce, retail, and supply chain space for over 20 years. It never ceases to amaze me that I get to learn something new pretty much every single day. That's why I love what I do. Recently, I spent almost 7 years leading solutions architecture for Adobe's Commerce Cloud platform, and I'm really excited to be here at Clio and looking forward to showing you guys CIC and NetSuite today. So, with that, if there's nothing else, Tushar, that you want to throw down, all right, well, let's get into it,
You're
man.
off and running.
I'm really excited. So, all right, everybody, let's start really high level, right? And that is just a quick introduction to Clio and what we're all about. So we believe in three core pillars. We believe that you should be able to accelerate your business, that you should have control over your business, and that your partner should be able to trust you and should be able to trust your platform. And so we get to that from four key areas. We're going to look at this in these kind of four key areas and table stakes for the industry, right? But where we really shine, absolutely, we have that accelerated integration. We believe that we can accelerate integrations with pre-built network integrations. We are network ready. We can manage and work with any file type, and we can connect over any protocol. So connecting to all of those partners, being able to say yes to all of those partners, regardless of how they connect or how they transact. And that's, I mean, I feel like that is ultimately table stakes, but where we really differentiate is on that control and operational flexibility. So looking at the upper right quadrant here, you have the option of consuming our services in a fully managed manner. You also have complete and full access to self-service tooling. So we have a full self-service model, as well as a hybrid model where you can really blend the best of both worlds and leverage us as much as you want to leverage us. So you have that flexibility, and this is really an area where we differentiate ourselves. Also, clear visibility and alerts across the platform, but we're going to talk all about that today, so I won't spend time here. But then thinking about all of the different workflows across the organization. You may be thinking about order to cash today, or you might be thinking about procurement or logistics. But the good news is that Cleo and CIC can support all of those workflows, allowing you to bring end-to-end supply chain orchestration into your organization with visibility across the entire process. And then last but not least is really where we think about trust. How do we build that trust, build those lasting, deep, powerful relationships with our partners and our network? And that's where ecosystem relationship management really comes into play, where we give you deep insights and the ability to really analyze how those relationships are working, how you are delivering on your commitments to your customers, and how your customers are or your partners are delivering on their commitments to you as well. So in terms of outcomes that we deliver, we've delivered amazing outcomes for some very significant companies. But what's most important today is really getting you guys into the platform. So let's take a step in that direction. Now, thinking about this, just give you guys kind of the bird's eye view of high level architecture before we dive into the platform itself. So what is CIC? Where does it sit and how does it work? So thinking about your business ecosystem on the right-hand side of the diagram, where you have all of your trading partners, whether you connect over a VAN, direct connections, e-commerce platforms. This is your customers, your suppliers, your carriers, and any other platforms that you might share data with. So on the external side. And the point here, I'm not going to read all of the formats and protocols, but the bottom line is that we are an any-to-any transformation platform. So we can consume and ingest any file type across any protocol and bring that into Cleo Integration Cloud. Now, on the left-hand side, this is where we get operational, right? This is where we connect to the back-end systems. And specifically, when we think about integrating to ERP, CRM, TMS, WMS, but let's talk about NetSuite today. So our NetSuite integration, we have pre-built integrations for NetSuite for all of the most common flows that we see across all of our NetSuite customers. Our certified NetSuite connector crawls your instance of NetSuite, and it pulls out all of your NetSuite records, your custom fields. And so that's how we're able to connect back into NetSuite. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, but this is a huge differentiator, and we'll circle back to it in a little bit here. Also on the left-hand side, whether you have some other on-prem systems as well, whether in the cloud or on-prem, we have the ability to connect in securely, maintaining outbound connections from your systems to ours, maintaining security and end-to-end integration. And in the center is Cleo Integration Cloud, really composed of three key components plus the cockpit for visibility. And so Studio is our low-code integration environment where those business processes and all of that is built out and developed. The engine itself is where the magic happens. That is the orchestration and transformation engine. And then those pre-built integrations that allow us to connect to all of your trading partners on the outside. And the things that we're going to show you today are in cockpit, and that's where we're going to explore. And so rather than talking about all the good stuff we could show you in cockpit, we're just going to get into it right now. Without further ado, we're going to get right into NetSuite actually, and we're going to sort of start in the middle of the process. But just to show you that integration in NetSuite, the glass box issue management, we're going to get into as well, and really show you the whole platform.